All right, okay, let me back up. Oh, wow, it's a beautiful evening. Mika, what is Onegoshin? Beautiful evening. There's stars, the Wawatesi, fireflies, Wawatesi. And crickets are chirping. I mean, it's just beautiful. I'm feeling very peaceful. But I haven't always been that peaceful. My life has been, maybe you're like me, you know. I know I'm not the only one who goes through this stuff. But life has been a roller coaster. And I used to think it was a roller coaster of emotion. Like I would get depressed, and then I'd get out of it, and I'd up and down, up and down. Go get depressed, work yourself out of the depression, learn from it, grow. Then sooner or later something triggers, and I get depressed again, whatever. And with depression, when you have the blues, it's never just the blues. It's not just depression, like, oh, woe is me, I sure miss my childhood, and or whatever. Why did my cat have to pass away? It's not just depression. When you're depressed, you also have anxiety. That's two sides of a coin. Nobody's depressed and not worried about being a failure and not having enough money to live and making mistakes and being freaking out all the time. So my life has been a roller coaster, like a lot of us. Our lives are roller coasters. And you think it's a roller coaster of emotion, but it's just, your emotions are just one part of it. What I think it is, it's a spiritual growth. As you get older, just like when you're a kid and you grow taller, and for some of us, our bellies grow bigger as we get older. I mean, not me, because, come on. I quit drinking beer. My belly is not getting bigger. But I am getting older, and things are growing and changing. And one of the things that changes is your spirit, your soul. So the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul. I learned about this term last spring after I had gone through it. It wasn't just a depression. I had become depressed and I was freaking out over stuff, Nobody was watching our live stream and, I don't know. But the dark night of the soul is like when you find yourself, you've been sinking and sinking into that abyss for a long time, and then you hit rock bottom. And as you're climbing yourself out, you might find an evening where it all falls apart. It all comes crashing down. Where nothing makes any sense anymore. Where everything you love, you can't feel it, nothing makes any sense. I was so freaking out this one night. I remember I was sitting in a chair and I felt like I was hanging on to a roller coaster, and I'm crying around and stuff, And what happens is all this childhood stuff comes back. And it's nothing that you haven't always known about. But your soul, what is happening is your soul is awakening. And it's kind of like your inner child. I know that sounds so stupid. But your inner child, they say, is the guardian of your authentic self, of who you really are. And who you really are is your soul. So in the dark night of the soul, There are 5 signs you're going through it. Overwhelming feelings of being lost, powerless, and hopeless. Nothing's worked out. You're freaking out. You got no power. And you got no hope. For me, I was just certain that, well, the only thing left in this life for me is utter destitution, homelessness, death in the street. Nobody loves me and nobody cares. And hopeless. I had no faith. I gave up my faith in God himself. I had no hope. I was like, well, prayer doesn't do jack, and my own abilities hasn't worked anything out. Hopeless. Number 2, struggling against challenges, feeling exhausted physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You've been lying around in your messy apartment, ashtrays overflowing, beer cans, cold pizza, garbage, newspaper, whatever. You haven't showered in days. Dishes in the sink. And you're sleeping all day, and then you got insomnia at night. And spiritually, you're feeling exhausted spiritually. For me, my whole life I've been trying to plead to God to save me. And then I finally was like, you know what? Fine, you're not going to save me? Well, I'm going to quit asking. All right? Heightened awareness and self-reflection. During a dark night of the soul, man. Heightened awareness. You become... It's crazy. If you've ever gone through it, man. Heightened awareness. It's like your senses of... I can hardly explain it, but you get in this altered state of consciousness. And self-reflection. You spend all day ruminating about everything. For me, I was ruminating about every chapter in my life, every relationship I ever had. You can do that if you have plenty of time to wallow in your dark night of the soul. Drastic change in interests, social circles. Yep. It's like, what am I doing here? Playing in a bar band? I hate these people and I hate this music. It's a bunch of, and then it just comes on overnight. You're like, suddenly you got no interest in that crap. Shift in definition of success. It's a brand new... For me, it was helpful when I redefined what success was to keep myself from totally giving up. They say, happy people have a life that's close to their blueprint. What they kind of wanted to write out, the plans, the blueprint plans for their life. Happiness doesn't come from just so much money and so much fame and so many girls or whatever. It's just whatever you wanted. Some people, their blueprint plans are a trailer on a lake in LaPorte with a girl from Benedict, 3 kids, a pickup, and a boat and a trailer. And if they grow up and they get all that, they're happy. Somebody else can have a mansion in Beverly Hills and be the most famous, beloved movie star, and they'll be unhappy because if what they really wanted was a trailer by a lake and a nice husband or wife and kids, If it doesn't match your blueprint, you're going to be miserable. Well, I had a blueprint. And my blueprint was kind of sketchy. I definitely had dreams. I had childhood dreams and young adult dreams and middle-aged guy dreams of becoming somebody. In my mind, I had this creative idea. And there was stuff I loved to do. And I wanted to do the stuff I love to do, and I wanted to get good at it, and I wanted to support myself and be free to do and be who I was. Well, I knew that my blueprint wasn't, well, I want to be a person who's never feels like he won anything, like nothing ever works out. He never got the girl. He never made any money. He didn't, everything I ever tried failed. Every band I ever tried, every recording I ever did, every relationship before Natasha, of course. All my dreams came true when Natasha came in my life. But before Natasha, none of my relationships ever worked out. But I got some good advice. They're like, well, redraw that blueprint and see if how close your life actually is to the blueprint. Well, I looked at that blueprint and I went, you know what? My blueprint didn't look like Paul Stanley's life. I didn't want to fly around the world and have a mansion in Beverly Hills and be at, county fairs, rocking and rolling all night and partying every day. I didn't want any of that. But I wanted to play guitar and sing and tell jokes and feel cool and have a cool place to live in, not have to worry about a bunch of stuff, And little by little, I started piecing together, redefining what was success. And during the dark night of the soul, I went, you know what? You're not working a job you hate. You have a house you love. You're doing what you love to do. You have people who appreciate what you do. I never had a dollar sign of like how much money I would need to make before I'd be satisfied. I knew I didn't need to be a millionaire or anything. I just wanted not to worry about it every day. And I was worrying about it every day. Until the dark night of the soul. I redefined that crap. Ain't no one left here to blame but me. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. My name is Emily Aubrey. Over here on the guitar, Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Michael Lyons. Say hello. Hey everyone, how you doing? And here's a song by, what are they called? Marillion. Marillion! This is a song by Marillion called, Sugar Mice in the Rain. Or maybe it's just called Sugar Mice. I don't know. All right, take it away. I was flicking through the channels of the TV on a Monday in Milwaukee in the rain, trying to piece together conversations, trying to find out where to lay the blame. When it gets right down to it, there's no use trying to pretend. When it gets right down to it, there's no one here that's left to blame. Blame it on me, oh, you can blame it on me. We're just sugar mice in the rain. I heard Sinatra calling me down through the floorboards, where for a quarter get a partnership in rhyme. from the jukebox crying in the corner, while the waitress is counting out the time. When it gets right down to it, there's no use trying to pretend. When it gets right down to it, there's no one here that's left to blame. Blame it on me, oh, you can blame it on me. We're just sugar mice in the rain. In the rain. Sugar mice in the rain. The rain. About the toughest thing I ever did was talk to the kids on the phone. When I heard them asking questions, I knew that you were not alone. Can't you understand that the government's left me out of work? I just couldn't stand the looks on their faces saying, what a jerk. Blame it on me, oh, you can blame it on me. We're just sugar mice in the rain. In the rain. Sugar mice in the rain. In the rain. Your daddy took a rain check. 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 Ain't no one left here to blame but me. Blame it on me. Blame it on me. Ain't no one left here to blame but me. Blame it on me. You know, every once in a while, sometimes the way things go down, you realize, that one's on me. I'm the one at fault here. There ain't no one left here to blame but me. And I'm really sorry.